The cryptic reason false memories feel real. In 1988, in Thurston County, Washington, a sheriff's deputy named Paul Ingram confessed to years of satanic ritual abuse against his own children, crimes investigators found zero physical evidence for. No bodies, no scars, no corroborating witness, and cognitive scientists still cannot fully explain how his brain built full sensory memories, complete with sounds, smells, and specific pain, of events that provably never happened. Ingram wasn't a suspect anyone expected. He'd spent 20 years in law enforcement, devout, well-regarded, a deacon at his church. In November 1988, his daughters accused him during a religious retreat. He denied it flatly for days. Then investigators told him accused fathers in similar cases always eventually remember. He began preying on it. Within a week, he wasn't just admitting guilt. He was producing scenes, furniture positions, specific nights, specific dialogue from memories he said had been blocked until now. Here's the first anomaly. Real memory, even traumatic memory, tends to degrade with each retelling. Details blur, get vaguer. Ingram's did the opposite. Every session with investigators, his account got sharper. More people appeared in the scenes. More specific injuries. Detectives treated this as a breakthrough, proof the trauma was finally surfacing like a wound draining. You'd expect a memory recovered under duress to be thin, fragmentary. His kept improving like a photograph developing. So the obvious theory took hold fast, that repression is real, that Ingram had buried decades of abuse so deep that only intense pressure could excavate it, and confession was the exorcism it looked like. Investigators believed it. His daughters believed it. For a while, even Ingram's own attorney did. The case seemed to confirm what a generation of therapists had been trained to expect: memory as a vault, waiting to be unlocked with the right key, the right question, the right amount of pressure. But here's what makes that impossible. Sociologist Richard Offsch, brought in to consult, tested Ingram with a fabricated accusation. He told him one of his sons claimed Ingram had forced him to have sex with his sister while Ingram watched. This never happened. Offsch invented it on the spot. He asked Ingram to prey on that one too. Within a day, Ingram produced a detailed, multi-page written confession for the fabricated incident dialogue, positioning his own internal guilt, indistinguishable in tone and conviction from his real confessions. If repression were unlocking true memories, this shouldn't have worked. There was nothing there to unlock, which brings you to the part nobody can fully account for. Psychiatric evaluators found no psychosis in Ingram, no malingering. Polygraph examiners and mental health experts who studied him agreed he wasn't lying to protect himself or manipulate the process. He genuinely believed the fabricated memory was true, with the same felt certainty as an actual recollection. His brain hadn't produced a lie. It had produced an experience. Somewhere in the process of imagining a scene under suggestion, his mind stopped tagging it as invented and started treating it as retrieved. Neuroscientists later studying cases like his point to something called source monitoring, the brain's internal system for labeling where information came from: dream, guess, memory, or fact. In Ingram and in a smaller population of highly suggestible people identified since, that tagging system doesn't just weaken. It appears to fail completely, indiscriminately, in a way researchers still can't predict or reliably reproduce. The leading explanations keep collapsing under their own weight. Some researchers pointed to interrogation pressure alone, but Elizabeth Loftus's later, Lost in the Mall, experiments implanted false memories in ordinary people with no pressure at all, just a suggestive conversation with a trusted relative, and a quarter of subjects adopted a childhood event that never occurred. Others proposed Ingram had a rare dissociative disorder, but his evaluations never supported that diagnosis. Others still suggested he was simply desperate to please his interrogators. Yet the fabricated sibling assault confession had no audience left to please. Offsch had already told him it was invented, and Ingram kept defending the memory as real for years afterward, even after his convictions were eventually challenged. What still can't be explained is the mechanism itself. Why a hippocampus can construct a memory with full sensory weight. using the same neural machinery for imagining as for remembering, and never flagged the difference to the person experiencing it. Researchers know source monitoring exists. They don't know why it fails so completely in certain minds, under certain conditions, while leaving everything else about a person's reasoning intact. Paul Ingram served over a decade in prison for a crime built entirely on his own mind's construction. He still, by some accounts, isn't sure what's real. If his brain could do that to him once, without warning and without a trace of malice, the question worth sitting with is how confident anyone should be in a memory that simply feels true.